Hey everybody, welcome to the Sky Lounge, and this is Cruise Peruse episode number 155, boys and girls, here in the Las Vegas Strip on December 31st, 2019. We're actually just leaving the Vegas Golden Knights game where I got to witness Marc-Andre Fleury making history. He is now the 6th all-time NHL winner as a goaltender. I believe the number's at 455? Is it 465 or somewhere there? I know he's 6th overall. Congratulations to Flower. Absolutely incredible stuff that we get to see from him night in, night out. As Vegas Golden Knights fans, we are spoiled because we do have a Hall of Fame goaltender in our midst. And, you know, as much as people, want to give Vegas Golden Knights fans shit and this entire team, like, fucking suck my dick and deal with it. This team isn't going anywhere. Sorry, kids. I know all you motherfuckers want this expansion team erased because most of your fucking teams are so mediocre they haven't done shit for a decade. But yeah, there you go. Golden Knights ending the decade strong with the win over the Anaheim Ducks 5-2. And goddamn, man, hockey in Vegas it's an addiction now, man. Everyone's hyped for hockey. And I hope really in the near future that Vegas can get a Winter Classic game. Because yes, as we all know, boys and girls, January 1st, the winter game for the NHL, the Winter Classic for the NHL does take place. And it is an interesting matchup as always. And this year, tomorrow, we have the Dallas Stars taking on the Nashville Predators. I believe the game is going to be in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. And it's so funny because I remember going to Dallas a couple weeks back and just thinking to myself, oh man, I mean, I love the fact that I get to see the Vegas Golden Knights take on the Dallas Stars. But simultaneously, I was kind of bummed out thinking, oh, man, I should have maybe looked into getting, January 1st tickets to go to that fucking Winter Classic. Because those things are a fucking doozy, man. Outdoors, it's fucking bananas and shit, man. Just like how Vegas is gonna be fucking bananas here on New Year's Eve, and I always say this with Las Vegas here. When you live in Las Vegas, it's trying to avoid everything touristy. It really is. You're trying to avoid the Strip as much as possible because of the fucking sheer craziness that it becomes. And for me, man, as much as I love Vegas, I think EDC time and New Year's Eve are the two periods in Vegas I just absolutely hate. I absolutely hate it. EDC, the traffic is a nightmare. Obviously, New Year's Eve just goes without saying. But here we are, heading out of the Strip and actually making a really fucking long way to the east side of town because there's going to be a lot of road closures and just being mentally prepared for that. Kind of crazy, man. And when you say crazy, and we got to talk about the NFL, right? Boys and girls, here on the Cruise Peruse, we drive and bitch sports ball. That's what we do here. And the one thing I have to bitch about is the Cleveland Browns. All right, so let's talk about this. The Cleveland Browns fire GM John Dorsey after 2 years. I gotta tell you right now, I think hiring Freddie Kitchens and keeping him around, you can fault John Dorsey for that all you want, but John Dorsey is also the guy for nearly 2 or 2.5 drafts, got you perennial fucking great players for the Cleveland Browns, and you oust them out the door? What a fucking stupid overreaction by Jimmy Haslam. And what a fucking surprise. The Haslams are terrible. Fucking surprise, right? But the real shame is the culture of this Cleveland Browns team. Nothing has ever really taken form. So everything that's happened here so far looks pathetic and laughable. And I hate to say that. I do. Because I like the Cleveland Browns. I want them to do well. But here they sit. They're going to be drafting 10th overall in the NFL draft. And Like, I just don't get it. I just do not understand where this move comes from. Where I get maybe like you want to clear house, but John Dorsey has maybe been one of the only fucking bright spots in the executive level for the Cleveland Browns. Yet you're firing this guy. Holy fuck. You know, another fucking franchise is going to land John Dorsey, and they're going to be all the better for it. I can see a fucking team like the Texans, who are without a GM as far as I know. They had fucking Bill O'Brien make the goddamn trade for Jadeveon Clowney for the Seahawks. Like, they need a goddamn GM. I mean, the Cleveland Browns. You know why they were terrible? Freddie Kitchens. I know that wasn't the only reason, but I'd say the main culprit for Cleveland's awfulness has to be Freddie Kitchens. I think the fucking Haslams are crazy. I think the fucking Haslams who own the Browns are goddamn pieces of shit. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they will continually siphon off any good graces this Cleveland Browns team will make with the city of Cleveland. And Ohio suffers yet again. Yet again. Your Ohio State gets butt-fucked by the potential Cincinnati Bengals quarterback. And Cleveland just continues to just plummet down the fucking drain. I don't really know what the Cleveland Browns are going to do moving forward. You're not going to have the same GM. Like, what culture are you going to cultivate in this fucking organization now? Like, what's the fucking point of these players when you don't have a philosophy behind what you're going to fucking play at? How you're going to play? Like, the Browns are a team that I have a lot of sympathy for, but at the same time, it's a team that drives me absolutely insane because of the sheer stupidity on which they operate. And as much as I can fucking shit talk their AFC North rivals like the Bengals and the fucking Ravens and the goddamn Steelers, I mean, come on, man. You know what I can say about those three teams right now? In 30 years, right? Is it 30 years? We travel all the way back? Let's say 40 years. Let's say 40 years just to be safe. Within the last 40 years, all three of those teams, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Bengals, they've all had Super Bowl appearances. They've all appeared in the Super Bowl. And this team, the Cleveland Browns, the 2019 Cleveland Browns, are amongst the biggest fucking disappointments in the NFL this season. Like Dallas Cowboys, yes. Like, I understand the Dallas Cowboys hate brigade is always there. And the Cleveland Browns hate brigade was there very strongly all throughout the season. But what a way to fucking underperform and be such an underwhelming team that you are, again, drafting 10th overall in the NFL. Kudos. That's so sad. But what isn't sad is the Washington Redskins clawing at a head coach to come to their organization. And there was no sympathy from me when Ron Rivera got fired. And there's a lot of question marks moving forward with Ron Rivera reportedly getting hired by the Washington Deadskins. Yes, the Washington Deadskins reportedly hire Ron Rivera on a 5-year deal. Huge question mark. But, you know, when you had the Carolina Panthers, they had building blocks and coordinators. But the Washington Redskins, another organization where I just look at them and think, hey, you're not getting anywhere. You're not going to do anything in this decade. Nor in the next decade. You're not going to do shit. Like, what am I going to clap for you? Like, oh, you got a couple of Pro Bowl players throughout this decade, but all right. The Washington Redskins are also in a mitigated disaster. 5-year deal for fucking Ron Rivera. You think that's going to solve anything? I don't think it is. Because between the Cowboys and the Eagles and a surprisingly decent enough Giants team, the Redskins are going to be fucking bottom dwellers. of their respective division. Do I feel sorry for them? Hell no. Hell no, I don't. A team that has been a disgusting fucking organization from top to bottom, and you think I'm going to have any kind of sympathy or any kind of good words for them? No, I don't. Fuck. And listen, man, there's a lot of NFL teams right now just trying to sort their futures out and figuring out what they need to do moving forward. And I'm going to be talking about a lot of dumbass teams right now because that seems to be the theme of the day. But, boy, oh boy, the fucking Chicago Bears. So, the Bears are going to stick with Mitch Trubisky for the 2020 season, which, oh my God, like, what are you doing? What are you doing sticking with Mitch Trubisky? Yes, Chicago, your defense is decent. I'm not even going to say good anymore. It's decent. Is there anything good about that defense anymore? Yeah, Khalil Mack, a couple of Pro Bowl players. Great. Can't do shit with that offense, though. That's what makes a whole team, right? Special teams, offense, and defense. Can't do shit without a fucking offense. And your special team is kind of suspect at times. Yeah, I know, you got that crazy great punt returner, but who cares? Who cares? You're keeping Mitch Trubisky for another fucking year. Oh my God. Do you really want to be glued to that 8-8 spot for years to come? Congratulations. You just done that to yourself by announcing to the world, Mitch Trubisky's going to be our future next year. I'll tell you a funny story about a team that looked to be out with their top 3 fucking quarterback that they drafted years back. And that's the story of the Tennessee Titans. Now, I don't know the exact history and story of the Tennessee Titans, but Marcus Mariota was so fucking mediocre and terrible on a bad day that the Titans figured, fuck this. We are not going to stick around with Mariota. Fuck that shit. Let's put in Ryan Tannehill. We picked this motherfucker up. Let's see if he does something. And sure enough, boys and girls, sure enough, with Ryan Tannehill's decent quarterbacking skills, the Tennessee Titans have made it to a wild card spot in the playoffs. And yes, they are going to be facing a daunting task of taking on the New England Patriots in Foxborough, but they gave themselves a fucking chance. And were smart enough to move off of a terrible quarterback that was picked in the top 3, but doesn't fucking deserve a starting fucking quarterback job. He just doesn't. And I know the argument's going to be made, but they traded up for Mitchell Trubisky. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you traded up, but at the same time, you see the fucking lackluster production from this fucking asshat, and you're still going to fucking Stockholm Syndrome yourself into keeping this fucker around? And I know every motherfucking time somebody wants to defend a quarterback that's not that good, the first thing that everybody says, but he's such a nice guy. But he's such a nice guy. Kirk Cousins, he's such a nice guy. Blake Bortles, you're such a nice guy. Yeah, Mitch Trubisky's such a nice guy, but can't win your fucking games. And, as cold as it is to say, the NFL is a binary business of wins and losses. And listen, if you're not in the business of winning, you're in the business of losing. Or unless you're the Detroit Lions, you're in the business of tying games against the fucking Cardinals. So, boy, oh boy. Just a lot of salt today, boys and girls. Just a lot of motherfucking salt today. Because it is New Year's Eve. And, the whole idea of people saying New Year, New Me, I get tired of hearing that shit. I do. I don't want to hear it. I want to see it. I want to see your shit in action. Right? The whole thing with these holidays is the fact that with social media now, everyone has to just put themselves on the map. I'm here, I'm doing this shit. I mean, even me, I'm no fucking exception. I'm being this dipshit right now of, oh, I'm doing this for my fucking car. But, you know, I try really not to be excessive about it. You know, trying not to be a basic bitch about it. That's the key here. But, you know, the whole idea of a new year, you know, does put a lot of things into perspective. It does, especially when the new year is also the start of a new decade. It's kind of crazy to think that I've made it through another decade. I've made it through another fucking decade on this earth, and it is a blessing, man. It is a fucking blessing. Whether you're religious or not, I mean, living on this earth with all of these creatures, you know, humans and others alike, it's pretty incredible. It's a pretty incredible experience. And I live in a time and place where I put a fucking camera on my face and it glows out globally via the internet. And I get to talk a whole lot of shit. And I appreciate any and everybody just clicking by, stopping by. Goddamn, man. Because it's just one stupid ass guy, me, talking dumb shit. And, you know, I've been reading some of these comments on my fucking channel these last few days and just skimming through. And a lot of the things that I've been noticing is with these, you know, sports ball reviews that I've been doing this year especially, I've been trying to get a little bit more objective about things, which is hard. I mean, it is really hard, especially when you're talking about your own team. You know, whenever I talk about my Vegas Golden Knights, my Seattle Seahawks, my Arsenal Football Club, Los Angeles Lakers, Los Angeles Dodgers, I get very, you know, personal. I get very defensive about it because I feel that these teams represent chapters of my life, and they still do represent parts of my life. And you know, sports ball is just fun all around, right? So with all of that, it's just crazy to think that a decade has gone by, all these sports ball things happening, and the Dodgers still haven't won the goddamn World Series. Ah! I'm really waiting for that day the Dodgers finally win the World Series. But for the Dodgers, we say more goodbyes than hello. And what I mean by that is Rich Hill signs a contract with the Minnesota Twins. I know Rich Hill isn't the greatest pitcher. I know he's not, but it just hurts, man. Rich Hill wore his fucking heart on his sleeve. And I appreciated and loved that fact. And watching him just get so angsty in playoff runs or even in the World Series, you just appreciate this man. And it just sucks that we couldn't win while Rich Hill was there. But best of luck in Minnesota, man. Minnesota needs something. God, Minnesota was terrible in the playoffs, man. I thought the Dodgers were shit, but oh God, Minnesota. You break home run records and you couldn't hit shit. I mean, also they didn't have any pitching, so that's a start. But hey, with the new year starting, I mean, we're just steps away from baseball. And the Washington Nationals, I mean, they're World Series champions, and so are the Boston Red Sox and the Houston Astros, who shouldn't be, but yeah. A lot of perspective. A lot of decade-ending perspective shit that you get to think about. And again, it's because of the idea that the decade ends that we get a little bit more pensive, we get a little bit more thoughtful. And yeah, I don't want to come off as pretentious, but life is a very strange and mysterious yet fun game where there are no rules. Life has no rules. Just like these fucking roads. Just, oh my God. You know, as much as I love the city of Las Vegas, and I think I've said this a bit earlier, but Jesus fucking Christ. The east side of town, the place where I bitch about a lot, is absolutely the worst side of town. Okay? The east side of town has all these fucking issues. construction issues, fucking public area, shittiness. But they just don't care. East Vegas does not care. And goddamn it, man. I'm getting to this point of just fucking fatigue because, I've been sick the last few days, last few weeks, really. And I'm actually just coming off of it, right now. I woke up today and felt pretty good about myself. I felt pretty healthy, relatively speaking. And I'm hoping, with all the fucking craziness from the hockey game, that I don't get worse. But we'll see. Goddamn kids. It's nuts. It's a nutty time here in Las Vegas. And of course, you're gonna have all the partiers right now, staying on the strip. Gonna be fucking out till midnight, seeing all the fireworks. And as somebody who's worked on the strip for 3 years, 3 New Years. Okay, 3 New Years, is that right? 2016, 17, and 18. Yeah. So, no, 18. No, wait, 15. Now, I'm trying to count when, holy fuck, when I started actually working at the Flamingo there. So, I know I worked there in 2016, 17. So, yeah, I think I had 2 or 3 New Years there. And, New Year's on the strip, unless you're a tourist, like I said, it's a fucking nightmare. Like, coming in and out, oh my god, it is a fucking doozy. So, kind of lucky that I got out of there when I can and when I could. And I don't know if you folks saw from a little bit of fucking side images there, but the strip is crazy on New Year's Eve, and the policies change in terms of how you can have drinks around the strip around at New Year's time. Guys, I can't fucking talk shit. I'm actually really fucking hungry right now. So, just trying to fucking get my shit together here. But they actually do not allow any kind of glass cups on New Year's Eve on the strip. So, if you go to any bars, even some bougie ass bars on the strip, you are going to get a plastic cup. And you feel like a child because of that shit, Goddamn, man. Like I said, Vegas it's a naughty town. It's a naughty town. But it's a fun town, man. It is a fun town. But, kids, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and leave you with that little bit of tidbit. I'm actually going to be uploading the Vegas Golden Knights vlog and review later this evening, and hopefully I have the podcast episode up tonight. Going to be fucking rushing to get home before 5 o'clock because that's when they close the actual strip itself. So from me to you, boys and girls, Happy New Year. Don't be that cunt that says New Year, New Me and post it on fucking social media like a dipshit, because we all know 2 weeks later you're not gonna follow that shit. New Year, New Me, I'm gonna fucking lose weight. No, the fuck you're not, dipshit. I see you're already fucking shoveling that quarter pounder down your fucking throat. Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna be a better person. You're a cunt. You're always a cunt. You're not gonna be a better person. Shut up. So, there you go. My rage-filled rants from me to you. So follow me at the Sky Lounge and all the links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe for more daily content. Fuck off.